mean, I'm just NBA is moving on, guys. It's no more about the super team thing. You got to have role players. You got to have balance. You got to have talent throughout the roster. Again, Kevin Durant had some really nice quotes. Post game, he's saying no regrets on what we did. Just played out the way it played. I get it. We're gonna get straight into the best segment ever created on any podcast ever. The most creative thing in the world. The most creative segment in the world. I may be overdoing it. You might think I'm overdoing it. I'm not. You're wrong. This is Love, Hugs, and Hate Mail. Christopher Burkhart, I think I'm going to go first this week with my love.
Okay, do it. Show me what you got.
And my love, sir, is going straight to you, one Christopher Joseph Burkhart.
That's weird. I did nothing to earn that.
Well, I guess maybe it's not directed going to you. I'm giving you credit for the love of your studio that I see behind you. You have this. You don't have it turned on anymore, but you told me about the green screen fabric you're getting. You're making these upgrades. You're getting there. I feel pretty good about my faux green screen that is kind of working right now. Not that the fuzzy headphones around my head really, that doesn't distract at all. I'm sure.
Hey, we'll make it work.
We'll make it work. But your green screen tech is looking beautiful. I'm jealous and I love it.
Well, thank you. Put some hard work.
You're welcome.
Well, Keith.
How about yourself?
Oh, well, my love is not going to you, and I apologize for that.
I'm used to it.
My love is going to Portland's finest, Ime Udoka and Damon Stoudemire, anchoring the coaching staff of the Boston Celtics, doing Rip City proud, knocking off the Brooklyn Nets, and, proving everyone wrong. Because Ime had his detractors when he got that job. And again, the Celtics started slow and everyone was like, oh, is he the right hire? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, he turned that bad boy around, and his defensive scheme shut down one of the best offensive players in the history of the NBA in Kevin Durant. The Celtics defensive scheme, led by Ime, shut them down. So giving a nice big Rip City love to the Portland's own Ime Udoka and Damon Stoudemire.
I like that. That's some good love. I now am realizing that we're going to have a Brooklyn Nets heavy love, hugs, and hate mail today. That's just the way it goes when that was such a highlight game last night. Because Chris, my hug for the week is actually this is kind of tying into you again. You don't get the credit this time. You had your hate mail last week was about Kyrie Irving, the double birds and the extra bird and all his relationship with fans. You were saying he's probably getting fined $50K. Well, he did. He got fined $50K. My hug comes after that because Kevin Durant was asked about this afterwards. He had probably one of the most insightful quotes I've ever heard as far as kind of a basketball player talking about the relations between themselves and fans. He said regarding the birds from Kyrie and all the Boston fans there, it's rooted in love. They once loved you. They once cheered for you. Bought your merchandise, had life-altering experiences coming to games watching you play. So that kind of gets ripped from them from just something like a trade or demanding trade or wanting to leave. They feel like a piece of them is gone too. That part, the feel like a piece of them is gone too, relating back to fans. I heard him talk about that, and it related right back to what you and I have talked about with Aldridge. Like, you haven't quite understood why fans are still pissed. I think that's part of it, is the idea that we had hopes, we had dreams, and it got ripped away when he decided he didn't want to be here.
But Kyrie is not anywhere in the conversation of the greatest Celtic of all time, though. LaMarcus Aldridge is. They're not the same to me. They're not.
You're saying that we have more right to feel like Aldridge got ripped away than Boston feels like Boston has the right to feel like Kyrie got ripped away?
No, I'm just saying I get your comparison. I'm just not on board with it because I don't get the LA hate.
Well, that's not even hate. That was hugs. I'm sending hugs to KD. Hugs to KD for that one because I thought it was insightful. I appreciate what he said there. How about you, sir? We're not even to the hate mail yet. We need your hugs first.
All right, my hugs are going to the NBA fans and NBA as a whole for just being awesome and being smart, because the NBA for a very long time, Keith, has understood social media, has understood the importance of letting people just retweet highlights and stuff like that. The NFL is historically stingy with its footage and that people can put it on social and how they flag it. The NBA, not so much. Case in point, a tweet from Alex Kennedy today says that the NBA finished 2021 ranked first in total views of all their social content across Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, with 14.5 billion views. Put that in comparison to the NFL, which is fourth on that list with 7.7 billion. So the NBA doubled the NFL when it came to social media views and social media content. And obviously they're number one. As I said, that means they outpaced the NFL, they outpaced the UFC, they outpaced F1, which is global. They destroyed Major League Baseball. They beat the English Premier League. I mean, the NBA they got their crap together, dude. They understand the power of social media and how it builds that brand, and you absolutely love to see it. That comes from your brass, the guys like Adam Silver, like I said, understanding the power of social media and how it affects your program. And I mean, people dog, the relationship with China and stuff like that. But what's happened here is the NBA has understood that it can leverage social media to make itself global. Like the NFL hasn't leveraged social media to the same way. And the NFL is like very exclusive to the contiguous 48 states, like, and the occasional Alaska and Hawaii fan. Like, it
has a national footprint versus like a global footprint.
Right. And so that's a huge win in my opinion for the NBA, man. Taking advantage of social, letting your fans have some fun, have access to your content. Big ol' hug to the NBA.
I like it. See, look at that. 2 sincere hugs. I feel sometimes like the hugs always turn into the sarcastic hug, at least from my end, where we've had like the love and then the hug is kind of almost a hate mail.
Everything on your end sarcastic. Can't trust a thing you say.
Only sometimes. Hey, no, that's not me. That title goes to BMAC. We'll get to that later. The hate mail for this week, though, this one... this one's maybe a little less sincere. It's not straight hate. It's almost kind of more love. I could have put this in for hugs, but that's why these fluid little groupings work. This one's going to Brooklyn too. My hate mail is going to Brooklyn this week. They just got swept in the first round by Boston, like you mentioned. To me, it's hate mail to Brooklyn, not because of Brooklyn, but because they were a super team. This, to me, really does start to signify maybe the end of the super team era, like we've talked about before. They were preseason favorites to win the title. They got swept in the first round. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, they've been together, 3 seasons now in Brooklyn? It was something like 240, 250 games they've potentially could have played together. They played under 60. It was like 58 games they've played total together. I mean, I'm just, NBA is moving on, guys. It's no more about the super team thing. You got to have role players. You got to have balance. You got to have talent throughout the roster. Again, Kevin Durant had some really nice quotes. Post-game, he's saying no regrets on what we did. Just played out the way it played. I get it. And so I maybe the real hate for me, who I love to hate on most of the Nets, it's Kyrie. At post-game, man, he's talking about like, I felt like I was letting the team down at a point where I wasn't able to play. We were trying to exercise every option for me to play, but I never wanted it to be about me. It's like, dude, you made it about you. You could have gotten the vaccine. You very much cost your team at least a large portion of their chance to go further and possibly win. These guys, again, were preseason favorites to win, and they're swept in the first round. I'm happy. I love it. Hate mail to Kyrie and the Nets.
Man.
How about you, sir? It's the happiest hate mail. Come on. It's not even. It's.
I do not sit over here and take pleasure out of other people's failures. Okay, I want to lift up. My hate mail goes to, and it far often, too many times goes here. It's just history. Goes to the injury bug. Goes to COVID. Protocols as well. That counts as injury bug to me. Missing games. I mean, Paul George misses a play and that drastically affects the play. And you have Devin Booker, who's now dealing with a hamstring injury. You have Luka Doncic, who's missed games in the playoffs. You have Donovan Mitchell, who's going to be going in for an MRI here on an injury. You have Kyle Lowry, who's dealing with hip stuff. You have Zach LaVine, who is now in health and safety protocols and going to miss a key game. You have Chris Middleton, who injured his MCL and is now out for the foreseeable future. Hopefully they can get him back, but you don't know what that is. You have Ben Simmons, who doesn't want to play basketball for some reason. The list goes up. You got Joel Embiid, who's now dealing with a torn ligament in his thumb. So the injury bug, man, it's taken out it's taking out some really good players for these playoffs, and it sucks because you want to see the best players on the biggest stage in the world. So I hate you injuries.
It's been
You're
such a good
absolutely
playoffs,
stupid.
man.
I wish real life were like NBA 2K and you could turn injuries off.
At least for when you get to the postseason, man. Just like, yeah, it's been such a good playoffs, and you really do wish you could have these guys healthy, having just full teams and not having to worry about. I don't know. I would also say though, to be totally fair, some of the injuries, like the Devin Booker stuff, I'm not rooting for injuries. The Suns are my second home team. That's who I want absolutely to come out of the West at least, and just see how it goes from there. But that series against the Pelicans is so much more interesting now because the tables are a little more balanced. I don't want it to last that way. It would be nice if Booker could come part way back through and kind of keep Phoenix ahead. But the Pelicans would not be nearly as competitive through the first four if Suns were healthy.
Yeah, that's cool. But I'm cutting you off. You're done. Bartender, don't bring this
I'm not rooting
person
for
another
injury.
drink because it's more compelling. Nope, injuries suck, and there's no way.
Injuries suck. Injuries suck.
And that's my hate mail. That was our love. That was our hug. That was our hate mail for the week. We did it. Moving on.